All right. Try not to waste anything. Trust me, when you love cheese like I do, every little drop counts. We got some here too. Okay. All right. Now, if you don't have lupini, you could use chickpea flour. I prefer the lupini. It's higher in protein. Coconut fat, that's a must. If you're making a cheese, you need a fat, you know, but when you do eat a cheese, you eat a thin slice of it. You're not going to sit there and eat the whole brick. Well, you can, but, you know, you try not to because it takes forever to make, right? But very, very easy. And then I'm going to show you how I coat this cheese when it's time. Right now, I'm going to just cover it lightly. I'm just going to cover it, kind of press it down. And you're going to say, how much cheese are you going to get out of this? Well, I might get 5 discs maybe. Depends the size disc I want to make. And I'm going to use this old bag that I have my potato flakes in. I'm going to use that as an incubator. And I'm going to leave it either near my radiator or near my stove. And I'm going to let this ferment until tomorrow. Come tomorrow morning, I'm going to put this in the fridge. So you're not going to see me put this in the fridge. I'm telling you now. It is 11 o'clock in the morning. I finished my cheese. And I'm just going to let it inoculate itself. So I'm just going to leave it out until tomorrow when I get up. I'm going to grab this and it's going to go straight into the fridge. And that's when I'm going to have that window of opportunity to turn it into a disc. The taste is amazing. Now, this product I bought so many years ago, and I'm still using it. I never thought this was going to be as delicious as it is. It really has that cheddar taste. And it's vegan, by the way, guys. So, it's called OOO Flavors. That's where you could go buy it. Like I said, I'm not making money on this. I'm just promoting them because I like the product. There you go. You don't have to put it, though. I like it because it gives it that extra cheese flavor. Anybody that tastes my cheese says, oh my God, it tastes like cheese, like real cheese. If I don't put it, it tastes like cheese anyhow. Really, it's up to you. I have it, I'm going to consume it. But there you go. Very easy. So the next time you see me is when I'm dressing these, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to encase them. And if you don't have sauerkraut, guys, if you don't make your own, just buy sauerkraut. Try and get the white one. This way your cheese stays white. Mustard, if you don't have yellow, you can use Dijon. Lupini flour, if you don't have lupini flour, you can use chickpea flour. Tapioca starch, yes, you can use any starch you want, really. But I find the tapioca starch is the starch that gives it that nice little rubber feeling. Rice, if you have leftover rice, you can use that. Remember how much you use of the ingredients. How much ingredients you use is going to tell you how much cheese you're going to get. You use a little bit of ingredients, you get a little cheese. Maybe you could start with a small batch, just a little batch to make a disc and see how you like it. And if you do like it, then increase your batch. All right, guys. Here is my beautiful cheese. I can't even tell you how happy I am that I've made a new batch. This morning I had the last couple of slices of the cheese that I made earlier. Notice the little dent? That's because I put some on bread yesterday. I love my cheese. Okay, so here we go. It is nice and firm. Look how firm this is, guys. Super, super firm. And look at the color. It's almost like, the color is almost like a Parmesan. Really good. And if you taste it, I made it nice and firm, so this way I don't have to wait too long for it to age. Really, really good. Okay. If you see me make cheese, I'm sure you've seen this part of it. Now, normally I would put like tapioca starch, but this batch I am going to use black pepper, guys. This is a truffle and white pepper on the inside, but I'm going to use black pepper on the out. Remember, how you coat your cheese is really up to you. You could either do just the starch, or you can use paprika, you can use chili. That is really up to you. And look how firm this is. If you want, instead of waiting, you could actually eat it on bread right now. As long as you keep it refrigerated, you can. Okay, my hands are clean, maybe a little more. It's like making ice cream. Okay, here is my cheese. And we do the sides. And we keep turning it and making this disc as pretty as we can make it. Since I made my paste so firm, I won't have to wait very long to eat my first disc of cheese. That is for sure. Okay, I cut my ribbons. Now these are papers that I get when I get packages. I save them. I save them for so many things. It's great for me to make cheese if I'm frying something. So remember, I always use a little bit of cheese for glue. That was a seed. Here we go. Oh, didn't want to stick, eh? Okay, let's do that again. A little bit of cheese glue. There we go. Okay, and then we have our jute, and it's always once, twice, and then I go around and one more time, and there you go, and just make a little knot. Cut it, and now you can push it nice and firm, and it makes a perfect disc for you. Okay, I have a cheese rack. I'm gonna put paper on my cheese rack. There we go. I have more paper that I folded, and this is gonna go on my cheese rack, and I'm gonna put my cheese right on top of there. And this paper is gonna suck up all the moisture in my cheese. Okay? If you have any questions, like, leave a comment below, so if I see it, I could answer you. But very, very easy to do. Okay, I just push this to the side before I put it on my black pepper. And you can see little truffle bits, little chili bits, and my white peppercorn. There we go. So the coconut oil not only gives it that creamy taste, but it also gives me a chance. Once this stayed overnight, I took it and I put it in the refrigerator. And what that does is it firms up that cheese nicely. And it gives me a chance to shape it without getting my hands all sticky. There we go. Flip it one more time. Now the size again is really up to you, the size you want to make. Will this go around? It does. Okay, cheese glue. And the jute. Very simple. Now the trick of this cheese is, can you resist? How long before you want to eat it? The longer you let it age, the better this cheese is going to be, trust me. Now I'm going to keep mine like I always say, especially now the weather is nice and cold. I don't keep a heater in my garage, so I'm able to keep this in my garage until it's ready to be brought into the house and into a refrigerator. Well, it does have a little bit of heat, but not enough to really make it hot. And there are my beautiful discs of cheese. Now imagine giving this to someone for Christmas. I've done that before. I have given my cheese to my family. Beautiful cutting board, some of your homemade cheese. You could get maybe some cheese knives, and it makes a beautiful, beautiful gift if that's what you want to do. Okay. And once it's wrapped this way, when you press it down, it gives you a nice shape for the cheese. Okay, you could always remove that on the side. And there you go. So I'm going to keep wrapping these. Okay. I wonder how many I'm going to get. I could have made more, but it doesn't matter because I can always make a new batch if I need to. That's the best part. Like the ingredients I use to make this cheese is really not expensive. At all. And you could even make it cheaper. If you don't want to use lupini, I know that lupini is a little more expensive than chickpea flour. But you could use chickpea and it's going to come out delicious. I like the lupini better, higher in protein. And I'm really looking forward to cracking open my first disc because I don't know what I'm going to do now. I have no more cheese. Usually I've got cheese going before it finishes. This is too short. Yeah, I might have to cut another ribbon. Normally I have cheese going before I finish my discs, but it was a little on the slow side. Okay, there's my glue right there. And my jute. In once, in again, and it just gives you that firm. You see, I could just let go of it. Sorry about that. And it's not gonna unravel. It gives me a chance to either make a bow or just make a knot. Okay, and now I could press it down, and that's gonna give me that perfect shaped disc. So this is a good way, especially if you have allergies to nuts. This is a great way to make it nut-free but it's also nice to be able to make cheese and not make it so expensive. When I was using just cashews and almonds, the cheese was very, very expensive. But now I found a different way of making my cheese, especially the aged. I find that this makes the best aged cheese, better than the cashews and better than the cashews and better than the almonds. I mean, the other ones are good too. I'm not going to say they're not, but I find this makes a real nice stinky cheese, you might say. Okay, making my little ice cream cones here. And just one more. I'm trying to get them all the same size, but when I used to sell my cheese, I used to weigh it. But now my cheese is only for me, so I don't weigh it. I don't care if the discs are not the same. If one is bigger and one is smaller, it goes down the same place. So I'm not worried. So it looks like I'm gonna get 5 discs out of this batch. Now, if you'd be buying this cheese at the store, you'd be paying over $10 for an aged cheese like this. I have yet, not because I want to toot my horn, but I have yet to find a cheese like this at any store, vegan store. Never. I have yet to find it. Some are not so bad, but what does it tell you? I always make my own because I like the way I make it. I get it nice and strong the way I used to love eating cheese. Okay. A little bit of glue. There we go. Beautiful cheese. Nice and firm. And this is only going to get firmer. Okay. And this might be the last one I'm going to make. Okay. Okay. Twist, 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 push. There we go. You're probably wondering, why did you leave that much? Well, that's going to be for me. I'm going to put on a piece of bread. Okay. And there you go. Truffle and black pepper. And the peppercorns that are in the cheese will soften up on you, so when you go bite into the cheese, it's not going to break a tooth. I love when you get a peppercorn under your teeth. Now, I put whole peppercorns, but if you want, you could kind of crush yours. I prefer the whole peppercorn in my cheese. And you don't have to put what I put in my cheese. You could put whatever your heart desires. There you go. This is called a no-fuss cheese. This is called Connie's Lazy, and I really don't want to start using blenders. And it's just dry ingredients I have at home. But remember, if you don't have the dry stuff, you can even blend up chickpeas if you want. If you have chickpeas in a can, you can use that. You're just going to have to use more potato powder. And if it's still too wet, because you're using wet ingredients, then you'll just have to wait a little longer for you to eat your cheese, for sure. There we go. And basically I'm going to use paper like this. So once my cheese is completely here, let me move this over. It is so good. I'm going to put some on bread. I got 5 discs. I do put paper towels on top. Oh, you can't see it, eh? There we go. Is this better? So I got 5 nice size discs. Here's the size of it in my hand. Not sure if you can see it, how wide it is. I would say it's about up to my knuckle in height. But nice size cheese. They weigh nice. They're nice and heavy. So I did get 5 of them, which is okay for me. It's good. Now, if you don't have a garage, where it's cold, okay, here, let me start over. Okay, this is a must. You want to put paper on top. Now, if you don't have a garage that's cold, I say get a paper box, a shoe box. Do the same thing. You want to put paper towels underneath. And then you're going to put your cheese on top. And again, you're going to cover your cheese. Even if it's in a paper box, close your paper box. And every day you're going to go there. These are going to be soaking wet. This is going to be soaking wet. You're going to either add more paper on top. Like for instance, here, let me just get rid of this black pepper. Okay. I'm just going to add my pepper in here. Okay. Okay, so come tomorrow. You're going to check out your cheese. Basically, you're going to lay paper down. Put your cheese back on top. This one's going to go on top of that. And you work your way down. And you put dry paper underneath. Or you remove it and put new dry paper underneath. You want to also put a replacement sheet on top. I always use the white one on top. Not only does it stop things from falling on top of your cheese, but it also absorbs more water. If you want, you could put a weight on this. I'll show you. You could take a cutting board and lay it on top of your cheese. It's going to absorb the water, but you do want to check it often because you don't want to let the wet paper sit on top of your cheese. Like I said, if you don't have a cold room, do this in the box. Every day, you're going to change your paper, and slowly all the water is going to come out of your cheese, and it's going to get firmer, firmer, and firmer. If you have it in the fridge, it's always going to feel firm, but it will get harder, your cheese, because it will pull out water. If you keep it in the garage, after you see that your cheese kind of shrinked out a bit, when you touch it, you feel that your cheese is firm. Right now, if I want, I could squeeze this, and it's not that firm. I mean, it's firm, but it's not that firm. As it ages, it gets firmer. Once you put your cheese wrapped, what I would do is get some of this paper, and I wrap each one separate, and then it goes in a plastic bag. But I don't keep my bag super tight. I just kind of twist it and tuck it underneath. Or you could put your cheese in a small box if you have room to put that box in the fridge. But I do wrap each one in brown paper. And it's going to keep your cheese, it keeps it firmer. But remember, every day you're going to go there, you're going to flip it over, change paper, always flipping over your cheese. Make sure that paper is dry. And that's it. If you miss a day or two, that's okay too. Like if I go to the country and my cheese didn't get flipped, that's okay, because when I get back, I will go there and flip my cheese. The paper will probably be very wet, but I do go and flip my cheese. But if you miss a day or two, it's not going to be the end of the world. And that's it. So like I said, if you have it in the garage, I would even put something heavy on top. Make sure that there's enough air that circulates. So very, very easy to do and very inexpensive. So if you're going to give this cheese a try, come back, let me know what you think. If you've made some of my cheese, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of that. But yes, you can make cheese and it really doesn't cost you a lot of money. So I'm going to say I love you guys. I know most of you have already seen this process. But like I said, if you have any questions, write it down underneath this video and I'll do my best to answer you. And there will be a written recipe for this cheese if you want. I'll sit there and I'll make sure that whatever I did to the cheese, I'll put it down for you so you can either follow that or try making some from scratch by yourself. So I'm going to say I love you guys and I'm going to see you in my next video.
For more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to Connie's RAWsome Kitchen, give it a thumbs up, and share it with your friends.